Big ups to Mini Market, Taki and Tasso. If you're from the Upper West Side,
you already know.
No, please.
Period.
Hey guys, welcome back to Bayroom. This is episode 2, and I'm here with 2 of my lovely best friends, Naja and Tiana. We are here to continue this Dear Diary episode, well, this Dear Diary series. And they're perfect for this episode because they are literally my diaries. So today we're gonna just unpack me and my growth in the last year, or just throughout the friendship, and try to like dig deeper. This series is really just about like reflecting and unpacking all of the things that I've experienced, gone through, and how they've shaped me today. And so yeah, these 2 have been like a pivotal part of the woman that I am today. So we're gonna get into some things.
We're gonna get into it.
So yeah, I invited them to discuss this journey, and just to get an idea of how what their perspectives are, and get a fuller picture of my personal growth. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about our friendship.
Okay, where do you want to start?
How
do you want to begin?
Where do we start? Where do we
begin?
begin? How long do y'all have?
How long?
Yes, baby.
Let's talk about how long we've been friends and what you guys remember.
Since the dinosaurs have been on the earth. That's how long we've been friends.
And what you guys remember most about me when we first met.
It's a funny story how we
so
first
there's
met.
too many things. What do I want to say? How far do I want to embarrass us? Okay.
I feel like you should start because I met her through you.
Okay. Of course, the nucleus. Okay.
That she is.
Child. Okay, y'all. So me and Elisa both grew up on the Upper West Side. Born and raised, period. You know, the Upper West Side. You know, not the big, not the little, whatever. Down the block from each other. And we were both working at like this cute little like
not down the block, literally
across
the street, like, and the next building.
And the next building. Literally, she was 70, I'm 50.
But I was like right in the middle of both of your buildings.
Literally. And then my other grandmother was around the corner at 74. Like, swear to God, like these are the actual building numbers. And then we always knew of each other. I would like see her and say hi. And it was interesting because we're a little bit like a few years apart. You can't tell who's older, can you? I know.
It's nice about to be jokes.
And I remember always seeing her go into the store and stuff like that, like walking down the street, and I would say hi to her, and she'd be like, "Hi, like, who are you?" Like, who is it?
Well, our moms grew up together,
right? So we would always feel obligated to speak to one another because our parents knew each other, and our grandmothers did too. Miss Victoria and Miss Hazel also know each other. And then coincidentally, we both started working at like the neighborhood kind of job that everybody had, which is like this deli that everybody went to.
It wasn't a deli. It was an
organic
market.
It was an organic market.
Okay.
Deli.
It had a deli in it.
Right.
It was an organic market. Put some respect on Manny Market.
You're right.
How dare you?
I just was saying that just to make it, you know what I'm saying?
It wasn't a
deli or bodega.
It was an organic market.
Yeah, they had like mixed nuts that cost like $13.99. It was the Whole Foods before the Whole Foods. It's a Snapple.
Don't do that.
Gourmet Garage couldn't even sit in Mini Market.
Come
That's
on.
a fact. Okay.
Big ups to Mini Market, Taki and Tasso. If you're from the Upper West Side,
you already know.
No, please.
Period. So we started working at Mini Market together, and instantly our crazy tail selves hit it off. It was like instantaneous. She was like rambunctious. She was funny. She gave no fucks. Like, the fuck she gave, I would try to find them. Maybe you could not find these fucks because there were none around. But and she was, she was younger too. So
I was 15.
She was, yeah, you were a teenager. I was young too, but I was like 19,
you were
20.
Yeah.
So, and we just kind of hit it off and we just became really, really close. And then my best friend at the time, Tiana, would always come downtown to come visit and hang out and spend the night at Nana's house. We all know Nana's house, and
Good
so
times.
I introduced those two, and then they automatically hit it off. There's this
Well,
Not automatically.
yeah,
but-
oh yeah.
well, actually,
Jump in.
interestingly enough, at that time there was another friend of ours that I had a really, really big crush on at the time.
Oh my!
Huge crush on him at the time. And I think he was downtown getting his nails done.
No,
No,
someone was getting
downtown.
their nails done. It
He-
wasn't
I
him.
think it was him.
Because
I
y'all
think
was
we
both
took
sitting
him-
down.
No,
I
I think,
remember.
yeah, no, I remember very vividly. Vividly. I think he was getting his nails done because we were like, you gotta do something about this.
It was a mess.
It was a mess.
Okay.
He was downtown getting his
I
nails
remember
done.
this day like it was
and
yesterday.
Here comes this young, slim crop top. I remember exactly
We love a
what
crop
happened.
top. We love a crop top over
top
here.
on,
Crop top
those
mama.
shorts.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, she also had eyes for said gentleman. And I was like, Naja, what the hell is that?
Oh my God! Yes, you was
Shit
not.
like that.
You was.
I wasn't with it.
Girl, you was not messing with her. I
was
forgot about
like,
that.
I was like,
Who's this?
who's this girl?
I'm like,
Who's
oh, she's
the girl?
so sweet. She's so cool. She's so nice. You're
And
like,
I was
oh
like,
no.
not feeling it. But I don't even remember at which point I fell in love with her, but I just know that I did. And it wasn't too far after that.
Yeah.
So
It
and that's
wasn't.
kind of been our relationship ever since. Just get on my damn nerves.
Oh my God! Remember that time we were leaving Mini Market and she had brought us. I'm not gonna say who it was. A specific person to
We
Mini
not gonna
Market.
unpack that. This is not about me. This is about Elisa. Continue on.
We were like,
Oh yeah, this is years later.
remember you were doing something about.
Absolutely.
But this isn't about me. This is not my dear diary.
I'm just thinking about moments with Elisa that I had. It just happened to include
It was just
you.
so many.
We were just.
So many crazy moments.
We were like,
I've come
We've
a
had
long
so
way.
many
We've
all
all
We've all
come
come a long way.
a long
Yes,
way.
absolutely.
We've lived so many different lives. But I think that's the most beautiful
Yeah.
part of our friendship. So
Growing
many
together.
twists, turns, growth, boundaries. I'm sure we'll talk more a bit about that.
so.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
15 years is a long ass time.
And for us, it's longer.
Yeah.
20.
For us,
I
it's
think
like,
it's like
20 or
22.
21 or some shit.
20, we up there.
God,
They've literally they've been
they've
they've been a part of every single relationship that I've had, situationship that I've had,
same.
and have seen me grow from them, seen me grow through them. As far as what those situations have, how they've impacted the person that I am.
Mm-hmm.
What are your perspectives on that change in me as a person?
Meaning like your romantic relationships. I definitely feel like you've always been someone who valued relationships. You're just naturally a very loyal person.
For sure. 1000%.
And I think in your 20s, you spent a lot of time valuing and nurturing those relationships. And your 20s, like, we're still young, we're still trying to figure ourselves out. But you took on a role in roles that were far beyond, your years. And I think that you did an amazing job at that. Like, you became a mom, you were head of a household at like 26, where we're still trying to figure out our lives. And
Not the head of a household.
I'm going to say what it is.
I know that's right.
I'm going to call it what it is.
I know that's right.
Okay.
know that's
So,
right.
and in that, like, you're still figuring yourself out. And now you're
Mhm.
figuring out motherhood. And now you're figuring out all these other things. And it's been really amazing to now see you now figure out who is Elisa now, the adult woman Elisa, as you are still understanding motherhood in
Yeah.
this phase of your life, right? And I think those relationships, all relationships impact us in some way,
Yeah.
but I definitely think going through some of those relationships to getting to this point where, like, okay, I'm not just a mom. I am a woman first. I'm a human 1st. I'm
Mhm.
Elisa first. I have to take care of Elisa first before I can pour into anybody else.
Mhm.
I think that's been one of the most beautiful transformations to see out of those like relationships.
I feel
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
I definitely feel like in this season, I feel more of a woman. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
everything that I've gone through in the last, let's just say, since I came back to New York in 2016, I felt like and when I say that, everything I've gone through since 2016. I came back to New York in 2016 by myself. My mom lived out of state. And I came back to finish school, but also to continue a relationship that I was in. And so much happened. Like so much happened within those few years. And I felt like it was like constant like breaking down of who I am. Just life at the time. And so this is the first, and then, coming out of that and into a new relationship and going through new things and finding new things about myself and motherhood, all of these things happening over the last few years. I feel like I'm finally in a space, like you said, where I'm like actually focused on myself and becoming a woman. Like,
for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's pretty much the same for all of us. Like, this is definitely, the last couple years have been like pivotal in shaping and focusing on who we are as women and like refinding ourselves and growing in that space.
Before you move forward, I feel like there was this weird thing that happened with all three of us, that we all came out of like crazy romantic situations at the same time hitting a growth spurt. I feel like that happened to all three of us at around the similar times in our lives, around like the ages from like late 20s going into early 30s, and it kind of like a switch went off almost. And you started to like realize certain things about yourself. And I feel like I think all three of us at certain times took deeper looks internally to kind of work on like the external parts. And I feel like all three of us kind of had that happen, especially after like a traumatic romantic situation, along with realizing that you're like growing up and having like these newer responsibilities and finding out these newer things about yourself, or realizing that you may not have fully figured out things that like trigger you and like and so forth. But I think that that's something that I noticed with all three of us that happened.
For sure. And it's interesting too, because you're the oldest of us, and I feel like you are.
Oh no.
And I feel like you're kind of like, I feel like you have your own journey, like separate romantically. You've had your own journey, and you got started. You're older than me, way before I did, as far as like relationships.
Everybody know that she the baby, huh? Okay.
In our business, in our girl business. You know what I'm saying?
But my point is that, like, I feel like for me, you've kind of been like, not the blueprint is not the right word, but I've definitely looked to you as far as like having how to navigate romantic relationships, whether it was whether it was just
girl, I wasn't doing too hot in that department.
No, and it's not that she was doing that great. It's just that like I feel like she had these seasons of like
did.
And it's so hard to put into words.
I get it, because I really used to ask Naja like, "Yo, teach me how,
bro.
How do you do it?"
So if
it's also like a personality thing.
Wait, if you think I'm a player,
oh my god.
If you think I'm player, like I literally learned everything that I know from Naja.
Not too much.
I failed the class.
Literally,
I didn't.
And like it's a mix of that. I listen.
You listen. She loved not
listening.
Can
you tell the people I listen?
Saying listen, but the Taurus did listen, which is the opposite of what your sign.
I be listening.
You listen for 1,000%. Yes, Sagittarius said, "I'm doing what I want."
I just don't have a lot of bandwidth for a lot of for people. So like
it's true.
I ask, but this I'm not even talking about. I'm not even talking about rosters. I'm just talking about like how to move and how to navigate. But like. I add my own personality to it,
for sure. Of course.
But like, definitely, I want you to also talk about like your journey romantically and like how, because a lot of how I've been able to get through and navigate these things has been watching you as well.
Oh Lord. Okay. I think it's a few things.
Are you single?
She's single. You know what I'm saying?
I'm single.
How you doing?
Yeah. How you doing? That single?
I'm single enough. You feel me? No, I'm single. Let me stop being single. It's a few things that I realize like that I've been like putting into like this equation of figuring out like how I've navigated certain situations or certain relationships during certain parts of my life. Compartmentalizing is one thing that I naturally always kind of knew how to do.
What does that mean?
In the sense, and romantically compartmentalizing, right? Understanding how I feel, where I'm coming from, but not allowing certain emotions or feelings to get in the way of other parts of the relationship that I have with somebody. I never see a person as the relationship that I have with them. I see them as the person that they are, and the relationship that I have with them is an extension of both of us together.
Okay.
So they are who they are, I'm who I am, and what we decide to make is that extension of both of us. And then we navigate that the way that we decide to, good, bad, or indifferent.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't always have the words to formulate it. I do now. And I think that was always something that kind of worked to my advantage as far as like still having, with most of like exes and people that I've dated, positive relationships, reliable relationships, even if things didn't work out romantically due to maturity or due to mindset differences or bandwidth or, you know, the point in time that people are in their life, what have you. I think compartmentalizing helped me out a lot. I think, and I think my defense mechanisms that I had at a certain time, which wasn't always a positive thing, I kind of was able to kind of like cut things off. Like I'm one of those kind of people that for a long time, I could be in love with you, but if you did something that absolutely hurt me or like disrespected me or devastated me, I was able to remove myself from you, regardless of the emotional attachment. And I know that people say that women can't do that, and it's hard. Not here.
No,
it's the easiest.
I have never seen anyone else in the world be able to do that the way you have been able to do that. I have seen you be so deeply and profoundly and unconditionally in love with someone and just remove yourself and handle those emotions and like not even allow those emotions to, well, there was that one time, but not allow those emotions.
It was that couple times. What you mean one time?
But the way that you're still able to, you're able to like, just like, you know what? I know I'm going to go through this wave of emotions to start healing through this, but like, I have to choose myself. That's something I've always admired about you in relationships, is the way that you like choosing yourself. Like that's very new for, I feel, at least for me over the last maybe several years. I've been putting that more into practice, but like you've always been that. Like, I don't care how bad this hurts. I don't care how much I love you. I'm always going to choose myself to play for me. Like literally
eat it. Whatever, however you feel, like you literally eat that.
But I've always had like y'all too. So like the loves of my life are like sitting in this room. I have been in relationships that have been amazing. I have dated people that have been wonderful, but I'm not sitting here with them right now. I'm sitting here with them. So I've been able to navigate my pain because I've had foundation. I've had my family foundation, and then I've had my extended family, which are my best friends. I've devoted myself to a certain degree, and they devoted themselves to a certain degree. So even though that they didn't realize it, the reason I was able to do that is because I had a landing zone.
Aww.
You feel me?
Oh, friend.
Yeah. So, you know, it's easy when you have a tribe. You feel me? Like my tribe is not all here. I probably fill up this damn room.
Yeah,
but having a tribe that's actually that really like, I remember like I'm Daryl and David coming to like rescue me when I was like,
girl, when I had to leave my situation, I came
and stayed at Tiana's
for like 3 months.
Right.
It was like 3 months.
Yeah.
Like,
no joke.
That's wild.
It's no joke.
Literally one morning I had to pack up and dip.
And it was out, and it was what it was, and couldn't, and there was nowhere else because your mom's was in here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like I think having
those 3 months were super pivotal too. Because
we had fun.
Child. No, absolutely. But
yeah,
I was on the I was on the brink.
You was on the brink for sure. That was like my first time, I think, seeing you like absolutely devastated. Because even though she's always been one of my youngest friends, she's always been one of my strongest, very like firecracker, very loyal, really shit can't break her. She takes shit on the chin.
And I always said, if I ever got lost on the island,
she'll be the person you want to get lost with because she takes
me
shit
and you
on
was assed out.
Be crying. You crying in the middle of the ocean. Be hungry. Be assed out. This bitch gonna build a tent. She gonna build a boat. Me and you gonna be like, when we gonna cry and pray. We gonna cry and pray.
Cry and laugh and make jokes.
Yep.
Like, yo, this
we
is
here for the jokes. We gonna die of starvation. They gonna find our bodies hugged up together, dead. Die of starvation.
But her, she's like, oh, now we get out of here.
She's finding a way out for sure.
That was that was a rough time.
Yeah, but you've always been able to like figure it out.
That was going to be my next question. Like, what was the hardest part of my journey up until now? I feel like I speak about it this way because I feel like I'm out of the woods. Like, I feel like I'm like finally to a space where I'm like cloud free and
Did you say clown free?
No.
If you did, that'd have been amazing. I was waiting for you to finish.
No.
I was like, oh girl, me too. I'm clown free.
No, that's right. No one's a clown. No one's a clown.
Sometimes they're a clown.
No one's a clown.
I didn't say anyone particularly. I'm not talking about anyone particularly. I'm just saying sometimes there are clowns.
No shade to nobody. This is a safe space.
Right. We listen and we don't judge.
No one. Oh, we should play that.
We can play that.
Listen and we don't judge.
No one's a clown. I didn't say clown. I said cloud free.
You said cloud free. Sure.
Oh, okay.
I'm cloud free. Like I feel like the sun. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And so I was going to ask what the hardest part of my journey was for you guys as friends to witness.
So there's a part 2 for me. That first part, when you went through that situation and you were saying that to be honest, that was really hard for me to watch. I was devastated for you. I wanted to fight. Badly.
That was dark times.
It was dark times. I wanted to write out.
I wanted to fight a couple people.
17
around
people.
that time. There was a couple people I wasn't really feeling.
Was it feeling?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then I don't know when it was. I think it might have been either right before Papa, my godson, our godson, or after. I can't really remember right around. I noticed that Alisa, her anxiety was a little bit more stressing her out than I ever realized.
Oh yeah, I'm just now getting out of that.
She had like I never really saw her like
put the coffee down.
Right.
Espresso martinis.
Them espresso martinis.
Espresso martinis.
Trying to kill you. Trying to take your own stuff out. Poor baby. God bless you. And I started to see like, no, my friend has like this very like deeply sensitive side that needs like nurturing because the strong person that's there needs someone strong to be there now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's when I was like, oh no, she needs more. Like, because you know when I'm one of the strong friends. So sometimes when you're one of the strong friends, the other friends be like, oh no, I love her, but I know she got it. If she need me, she'll call me. Not always.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when you see that with one of your other friends who's deemed as strong, I don't love that word when it comes to Black women, but that's a whole other conversation. I was like, oh, okay, I got to take some more time here. I need to be here. I need to just be readily available just in case, you know what I'm saying, anything is needed. You know what I'm saying? Because Tiana's always had a little bit of a sensitive streak, so I'll be there like, what happened? What you need? What's up? So it's a little different because me and Alisa are a little bit more like, you're a little bit more assertive. So it's a little different.
And I'll usually like have a conversation in not a sensitive way.
Right.
And more like a
straightforward kind of like,
what are you doing?
What's up?
This is how I feel.
What happened?
And what?
And did. And will. You know what I mean?
I think it was a postpartum thing too. Like
probably. Because I remember it definitely being around the baby for sure.
I feel like for me, I think after London, we're not gonna go down the rabbit hole of that, and we're not gonna talk about London.
We went to London, and it was a time. The three of us went to London.
I don't know.
London was a time on the first day. Naja wasn't there for that though.
No, like, all of it was a time. Good, bad, ugly.
Girl. Oh yeah, it was a time. If I'm going to go with that, absolutely.
I'm happy that y'all when I say this.
We have to go back to London.
We will go back to London because I would have possibly lived there.
I don't really remember ever really seeing you like really cry.
Child,
like
people be
cry.
making me out to be
Like,
this
but you're
nasty.
no, it's not that you're like a
Oh my God.
thug nasty. It's just like you
hold
are
that shit.
very reserved with your emotions.
Okay, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
for sure.
very reserved with your
a great way to
emotions.
put it.
And I actually just really never saw you break down like that. And for the reasoning behind this, and it wasn't just one isolated thing. It was like just I feel like a buildup
For
of
sure.
emotion.
For sure.
And at that point, that's when I realized, like, everybody has to journey their journey, but in that moment is when I felt like, okay, there needs to be some type of change that she'll be ready to make when you're ready to make it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But in that moment, that's when I was like, something's not all the
This
way
ain't just
right
about
here.
this.
This is not
This
just
is
about
about it.
this.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about one isolated thing.
Because
And
I
as
was
a
over
friend,
it in
that was
15
the
minutes.
that was the hardest part for
Yeah.
me to see, is like, okay, this is a lot deeper, and we have to figure out how to process this, how to process our own emotions about everything, our own boundaries, and like, but also like, we have a friend that's in need, but I don't actually know how to help her in this moment.
Because what's wrong? Because you got to find out you got to actually know what's
Yeah.
wrong first. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And when you
Yeah.
don't realize that your friend has all these emotions or is hurting as deeply as they are, and then you find out like in a bigger moment or like an explosive moment, especially the way that we were having that moment, that was probably like one of the most explosive moments in our friendship
Ever. I
Right?
never
ever in a state of
I don't know
everything.
what
What the fuck was in the air?
we was in London.
London
with them,
town. Lord Jesus.
With the colonizers.
With the colonizers.
Oh, Lord, them colonizers.
Exactly. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to offend nobody, But yeah, this wouldn't have happened if he was in Ghana. I'm telling you
It sure went to dumb December.
Exactly. We played ourselves.
We played ourselves.
We played ourselves trying to go to London town.
Yeah, we played ourselves.
Golly.
I'll be back though.
Yeah,
I will too, actually.
I'll go back. I would go back, but I would want to go back to like
I'm going to Brixton. I'm going to Niggardom.
Yeah,
I want to see
I gotta be with my
Niggardom.
people.
Niggardom.
So I gotta be with my people
Because I'm here for y'all.
Yeah,
Okay?
But they weren't really the issue, were they?
But there wasn't enough of them. I didn't get
It
enough
wasn't
Niggardom. Was
really-
the problem. I think that was the
London
issue.
was quite interesting. I definitely felt like there was a lot of colorism. I
of
definitely
course.
felt that.
But there is there.
You know what I
Yeah.
appreciate about Europe though?
It's straightforward.
It's yes.
It's straightforward.
No
Nobody-
microaggressions.
No one's sneaking
Yes,
around.
and that's what I
buying
love
it.
about
It's
it.
like,
Because I'm not a fan of passive
because
aggression
what
at
I could
all.
do is stay away from you.
And that's
Because
what-
I know.
Because
But
Exactly.
it's what makes it dangerous is when I don't know.
Exactly.
And you're just like it's
With this-
institutionalized.
It's such an
and
unsafe
it's like,
environment.
it's
for
like
you.
in
Yeah.
the core of
Of the culture.
it, and
Yeah.
and it's not as blatant. It's more like gonna affect you in the long run type shit.
What you just said, I said to so many people. Like, how was me went to London? I said, when it comes to being a Black person, what I appreciated was the people who were just people, the normal, just humans that were just human beings, were just that. And the people who had an issue with what people look like, you could tell.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
stay
saying?
away from you.
And it was great because I really appreciated that. Like, okay, you don't like whatever you don't like. That's cool.
But I don't
I think
feel
you
like
smell
we
like quarters,
really-
so it is what it
I
is.
think
Like,
it's not
you just-
quarters. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
It is what
I
it
think
is. I'm not-
I think more so it was more so prevalent in the nightlife.
for
Yeah.
sure. The
It was
colorism was
because
yeah.
It wasn't on
definitely
like
the
not in the
nightlife.
daytime.
day to day.
Yeah.
Day to day, I feel like it was fine. It definitely was the nightlife.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then we got that here, but it's more so like how you dress, your shade.
Mm-hmm.
Those
It gets because you know how that
Weird.
goes. It get
Yeah.
real
Yeah.
weird real fast.
Yeah. That was a lot.
Yeah.
London was definitely a lot.
I
But
also think it was a very pivotal transitionary moment in our friendship.
how so?
Mhm. I think in that moment, we've really learned to understand, like, we are not the same people or women that we were at like 25, 26. How we approach certain situations or some of the things that we say or the boundaries that we have. Like, I don't think Naja even realized like how much anxiety I got from being in like clubs. Like, I
No idea.
lost my shit. There was that club that had like the smoke
Girl,
machine and the
I'm
smoke
not gonna
machine
lie,
blew
it
up like
blew
in
on her
front of
face.
me.
Oh, I remember that.
I literally grabbed. So I was like, "Oh my god, is she okay?" I was like, "Girl,
I literally almost had a panic attack. Like,
I had to
I
get my
just
girl." So what
like
the hell?
I used to, and I think it's because we spent so much, and all through my 20s, we were out, we were bar hopping, we were like, and I'm just not in that space where that's something I enjoy.
I don't even like clubs like that anymore.
I don't even
I'm a lounge girl for sure.
It was
no, honestly, London really did shine a light on how you've changed as a person. Completely.
Yeah.
Like absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And like the first night we had a really good time, but it took you a minute to want to even get in that bag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
for sure.
Because me and Lisa, we come in that bag.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I like to relax.
We ready to go. we never have to get ready because we stay ready.
I like to chill. And it's not that I don't like to go out, but it's certain types of spaces.
The nightclubs we don't ever do nightclubs. I don't even do nightclubs in New York. But that's how it is.
And I think just also the club culture in New York is just different.
I don't even know what clubs are. I don't even know a club in New York, like a club. There's
nightclubs in New York. It's just not as many. A lot of them are shutting down or have gone shut down over the last 5 years, especially after COVID. Mm-hmm. And then a lot of the spots that are open, they're not really hitting.
Listen, y'all know where I be at,
right?
Shit,
I'm there with you.
Right there with me.
I'm right there with you. I like a little lounge. I want to be able to dance and turn up and have a good time, but I don't want to be like.
I like to be cozy.
Yeah, I want to be cozy. I like an intimate, fun environment.
That's more of like my
vibe. Yeah, a little rooftop or something. Girl.
We are so sidetracked.
Okay, so we're getting back. Let's get back on track.
Okay, so now we gone through the fire, and the rain and the storm.
Oh Lord.
All that. Now, today, as far as love and dating and all those things, you guys are still kind of riding with me on that journey.
Of course.
How was me and Brumman kind of like unpacked it? Not really. We didn't really unpack it, but like we talked a little bit about, how my dating journey has been going.
What was Brumman's opinion?
Did he have an opinion?
I don't know.
His opinion was more. He didn't really give an opinion. Well, just from speaking to him, there's no. He thinks, I'm chilling. Like I'm doing a good job with navigating situations, and I think his biggest takeaway from this year is that niggas don't play about me.
I know that's right.
Okay.
That's his biggest.
And they shouldn't.
That's his biggest. I don't really know what that means for real.
Yeah.
I think guys are just territorial.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to say that. Yeah.
Because if niggas ain't play about me, I would not be single. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could possibly still be single, but
there's caveats. I hear you. There's definitely caveats.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I hear you, but
I would be further. I would probably still be single because I'm not in any rush to get into a relationship.
Yeah,
but I would be further in something. You know what I'm saying? Because the goal is to find a more, find a partner.
Yeah, of course. Life partner.
If niggas didn't really play about me in real life. But that's why guys get confused.
But I feel like as we get older, that it's not just a one size fits all. I feel like niggas that are playing with you play with your time and play with their own time. I feel like niggas who don't play about you are also not playing about themselves.
Woo!
That was a bar.
Talk that shit. That's where I was at. I was with you on that.
Because it's like,
I'm hearing you right
as you get older,
sure.
We're not like the idea when you think about it, and if you think about past relationships, how many of those relationships that were rushed, where are they?
No, yeah, absolutely.
And I think that as we get older, one of the things that I really value the most, especially in these times, is my time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, time is the one thing you can never get back. So if you have grown adults, busy lives, things that we got going on, we're all ambitious, we all have goals, we all wear multiple hats, we have to show up in many different spaces. It is really not easy to prioritize another human being by choice. Like, it's not always easy to do that. So
we all try to build the same thing.
Yeah,
we're all trying to get, everybody's trying to have money and build generational wealth and do this for their family and take care of this one and take care of that one. We're trying to build all these different things because we didn't start off systematically the way our counterparts who don't look like us do, right?
Right.
So we are all in the same boat, all still trying to navigate those things and find partnership as trying to grow. That being a
Also
human and
working
that
through our
working
own
through
shit.
our own
issues and
stuff that
whatever,
you come
exactly.
with,
I
like,
mean, it's
navigating
endless
the
amount of
world, like,
things.
it's just so many. There's so many things that takes up your brain space, right?
Mhm.
So, like, if you have someone in your life who is taking the time to really invest their time in knowing you, understanding you, learning you, to create that solid foundation, then that's a man that's not playing about you.
For sure.
Mm.
For sure.
I'm just saying.
So
I know that's right.
So you don't agree?
I don't.
What is your perspective on this last year
For you?
for me? Dating.
I feel like this last year, and even just outside of the dating, I felt like the dating portion of it has opened you up in a different way. Like, I'm seeing you be the most vulnerable that I've ever seen you be, even in your friendships. Like, even with me, even with like how you're communicating things and allowing yourself to like really come face to face, like that shadow work. Shadow work is really hard to do. And that's the one thing about
Wait, can you talk a little bit about what that means?
Shadow work, yeah. So a lot of times in healing, a lot of people think healing is just you're just going to therapy or you are going to the spa and self-care is that. But shadow work is really facing like those deepest, darkest parts of yourself, the parts that are just so unhealed, those wounds that even though they may have been inflicted by somebody else, now that has gone, right? Now these same wounds, these things are showing up in your present relationships and how you show up in the world, how you show up for yourself even. And it's not always easy to go back to that space and look at yourself and say like, this is why I feel like this is why I'm doing this. Like, how do I actively stop these behaviors? How do I change a part of myself that I don't want to hold on to? Like, that's really when healing starts. And shadow work is hard.
Because you have to look at the worst
part
parts
of yourself.
about yourself and go back to the worst places when you felt the worst to understand the actual root issue of why you feel the way you do. Understand it and then let it go.
Like,
that's not easy to self-reflect in that manner. It's easy to say, I can take accountability. I did something wrong. I shouldn't have did this. But to say, oh, this happened to me at this point in my life and it made me feel this way. And ever since then, I built this specific style of communication or this personality trait or flaw even to then have to protect myself against whatever this is.
Yeah.
That
I think the hardest part, though, a lot of people lack self-awareness. I mean, we've all kind of been in spaces where we didn't see the way we were showing up, whether for ourselves or for the people in our lives. So I think that, you know, what is pivotal in being able to even do that are the relationships that you have, the people in your life. So, you know, having you guys call me out on certain things or bring certain things to my attention, even the relationships that I've been in, especially the last relationship that I was in, like it was constant like highlight of these areas that I needed to focus on, which, you know, may not have been felt the greatest, but it definitely helped me become more aware of myself. And so, you know, in that, I've really taken that all in and worked really hard to try to, you know, figure that out and figure out like why I am the way that I am, why I show up the way I show up. And just try to be better. Like,
and I think you're also in a space too where you're more receptive. Like, you'll ask, like, am I bugging? Am I looking at this the wrong way? Like, but you know, and still at the same time, like, but it still made me feel like still honoring how you feel, but also being very open to seeing another perspective. I feel like that's been something that's like, oh, I like this.
Yeah.
I
wasn't always like that.
No, you weren't. Oh God.
Wait,
you were not.
How was I?
Do you really want to do this?
Yeah.
I feel like there was a time. No, it's not bad because I also feel like even with all of us, like we've all had moments where sometimes, like me hearing the way I come off sometimes wasn't always easy because I think what it really was is like you don't ever want to feel like you're hurting your friend or like, and it's never your intention to do that. So I think sometimes we all have strong personalities. We all can be very blunt and direct. And sometimes we didn't always know how to and when to do that.
Yeah, I
And
think
like,
I struggle with the when.
yeah,
I have struggled
always
with
the wrong motherfucking time.
But I'm the opposite. I'll be like, I'll shut down.
Naja will completely shut down.
I will go in a hole. I've gotten cursed out. At least it'll be like, bitch.
Yeah.
If
like,
you do not call me, I'm like, all right, I gotta get it from out of my hole.
Yeah, and me, like, I used to get like, I would get defensive.
Yeah.
You know,
defensive,
like, what are you talking
and
about?
then condescending.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
baby.
Yeah.
One thing that Sagittarius, you're incredible.
I really have worked on it.
You're doing great because when I tell you, if you said something that Shorty didn't necessarily align herself with, she'd be like, "I'm sorry,
I don't agree.
I don't agree. I'm going to tell you, I don't agree. Let me tell you why I don't agree."
And they're like, "This is how I feel." I said, "But I didn't know how you feel. I don't agree with how you feel."
No.
And I really used to be myself, but
be dead ass. Like, I'm not taking this from you. What is with you?
Like,
not
yeah,
playing.
I definitely grew a lot. I feel in that area, but it's so funny because some of those same things, like in my profession, I've had to be that way. Like, not in my current role, thank God, but in like my last role, previous roles, I had to be that like passive aggressive, condescending, nice, nasty to kind of just get through my day, because it's like, y'all gonna learn to stop playing with me today.
Shit, yeah, for sure.
But you know, what do I know? How was the DEI hire?
See, I think what do I know? DEI hires this point.
No, yeah, absolutely. Oh God.
Yeah.
Kidding.
I work for my shit.
Period. So, it's
what?
Merit.
Like,
it's merit.
It's merit.
I was a merit hire.
I can do your job and your boss's job too. Higher. Hello.
I mean, I hired my boss. My last role. I'm dead serious.
And I mean, so then there we have it. Then the eyes have it. I guess.
I'm dead. Okay. Well, I don't even think we answered the question.
No, what's the question?
We
talk too much. I'm sorry.
We always do this.
I don't know. I think we were talking about
I don't know. It's so funny.
You were talking about just like where you are now.
Oh, how this past year dating for me has been. And you asked me.
I loved this past year dating for you.
Yeah, I don't.
It was so.
I liked it too.
Much.
It was fun.
It was fun.
It was fun. Like, it was like fun to be a witness to.
So much fun. I was like, oh, so is this what it was for them when I was outside?
Oh, it was way better.
So much fun.
It was way better when you were outside. It was way better, but you know, I also we're talking about literally 12 months versus you did that for a few years.
What about this?
You did that for a few years. I'm just getting started,
baby.
I don't really want to do this for that long. You know, but continue.
I was okay. So I was a bit younger.
Right. Exactly. That plays a part.
I'm very much the kind of person where when I want to do something, I want to do it, and that's just what it is for me. And I don't really care about the environment. I don't care about what nobody think. I don't care about what nobody want to know. I don't care about what somebody read in a book. I don't give a fuck. I'm on the type of time I'm on, and that's where I'm at. And if you don't like it, there's a big ass hole in the wall. It's called the door. I'm hollering at you. You know what I mean? So like, it is what it is. Like I said it, and I'm gonna stand by it. So that was kind of the place I was at that time, and I had a lot of time to kind of find myself.
You did it
grow.
at the right time.
Yeah. Because I'm in my 30s. Right. No, this is 30s is still so young though.
No, it's young.
You're still
but I'm
but you're also navigating adulting in a different way.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand. No,
I'm not in a space where I want to do this for another 2 years.
Like right now for me, like, am I dating? Yes. Do I want to date 75 different men?
That's where I'm at.
Not.
Like and I feel like in the last episode, Brahman made it seem like a couple people called me. Actually, a couple guys that I dated called me like, "Damn, how many niggas you was dating?"
Wow,
as many as I wanted to because I was single. I thought I don't have these problems.
I don't have these.
And I was like,
I don't really date like
I
that.
wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't. Let me clarify this too, because I wasn't like out in these streets crazy.
Yeah,
I was just talking to a couple people.
I'm sorry. Hold on a second.
She's tripping.
No. Hold on a second.
She was.
Hold on
a
second. I'm trying to figure out why anyone is calling anyone. If they don't pay their bills, they're not married to.
It wasn't like
they
that.
have no connection.
like
Let me finish. No connection to. Talking about how many niggas you was dating. If it was 115, it wouldn't be none of your business.
Oh,
I don't
Lord.
really care for that narrative of counting somebody else's points.
Started.
I know.
You understand what I'm saying?
It
You
was
can
a
date
joke.
as many people as you want.
No, I
and
know.
and because my thing is when you're coming out of a relationship and you're very much a serial relationship person. You've been in relationships.
Serial relationship is crazy.
You've been in relationships a lot
I
through
feel
your
like
20s.
I mean, was I?
I wasn't a
I don't
serial
really feel like
relationship.
I
I
was
was
a
in long
term. You were in you were in a
Yeah.
few long term throughout your 20s when you didn't really get a
I was in
chance
two,
to really.
just two.
It was just two.
It was just two girls.
Two
It
really
was
long
just two.
relationships.
Oh my god! Right.
She's not a serial relationship.
It's not even
person. She's
serial.
just
That wasn't the right
long-term
word. It was just that she was in relationships
for a long
period of time throughout her 20s. I got into my long relationship towards the end of my 20s, going into the beginning of my 30s.
Yeah.
So it was a little different for me. So I got to enjoy, like 4 or 5 years, 3 or 4, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like dating and navigating what you want, you can't find that without talking to people, getting to know people.
And that's all that was
and that's
happening.
all.
Yeah.
And I think
And
that
I
people
love that for you.
confuse dating with
Sleeping
other
around.
things, with sleeping around. And this is
Yeah.
why I responded the way I did a few seconds ago. Like, I'm hold on,
Mhm.
because I don't feel like that's fair. I can date who I want. And also, whatever I decide to do with my private parts is also my private business, correct?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm grown. So regardless of how you decide to navigate that, as long as you're safe, as long as your child is safe, and as long as you are doing things you have to do to take care of yourself, it's not really anybody's concern
No,
how you
absolutely.
choose to navigate your
Yeah.
dating space. I feel like feeling safe and how you want to navigate your dating space in whatever way that is entirely up to you and of your own volition 100%.
I love that you,
You know
say
what I
that
mean?
because I feel like sometimes when it comes to dating, like there's all different types of ways that dating can look for you depending on who you are as a person. Personally, for
Exactly.
me, I was never interested in dating and talking to different guys at
Right.
the same time.
You like somebody,
More
you
so
dated them.
because I'm typically busy and I really don't have
You
the
never had
bandwidth
bandwidth
for
for
like
that
a
shit,
lot
ever.
of people.
You
Like
yeah.
I have been, and I'm very selective on like my. And I
When she likes
enjoy-
somebody, she locked it.
When I like you,
Period.
I like you.
Period.
I think
Like,
we're all
but
like
I've
that.
had
Yeah, we
to
are.
learn, like, I had to also in that for
No, I like the
me,
boys.
I had to get very comfortable being by myself.
Mhm.
Like, I really learned to love my solitude. I loved dating my friends, my girls, hanging out with my guy friends.
Yeah.
Like, I just started like dating the people in my life that I love because honestly, I wasn't quite impressed with anyone. I am now impressed by someone.
I know
But
that's right.
there was no one that was really doing it for me. And I'm like, why do people be outside wasting time like this?
Okay.
Like I said, time is the one thing that I really value. And it's like, if I already know, I can know a rip if I'm not going to really
Fuck with
Fuck
you.
with
Like
you.
the same.
Yeah.
It's not
I know.
hard.
So it's like, why would I sit and
Yeah, that's why.
continue spending my
yeah.
time on that?
That's why you
Yeah.
kind of
So
figure
I feel like
out.
dating
and-
looks,
yeah,
there's
it looks different.
there's no right or wrong way to do it. It
No, yeah,
depends
I don't
on,
think I
who
did it
you
wrong
are.
at
No,
all.
at all.
I think you did a
You did a fantastic job. I
You
was
did
so
exactly
happy for
what
you.
you were supposed to do.
Yeah,
I was
You
so
met
happy
different
for
people.
you.
You were open.
You
You were
explored.
honest.
You got to see what else is out there.
Yeah, you got to. You
And on
treated
top of
people
that, if they were
well.
quality people, they
Yeah.
weren't. Good job. Good job.
Yeah, you
friend.
did great.
You did great.
Thank you, sisters.
Yeah,
You did
I'm
great.
very happy with the way
That
this
was
is going.
beautiful to bear witness to.
Yeah, I was
Oh, I'm
excited,
so
and you
happy
looked
to
good
see-
as fuck. The outfits, the fits were
You
fitting.
were glowing. You
It
were
was
confident.
great.
It was just a beautiful.
I love seeing my friend
Beautiful
and
thing to
taking
witness.
care of my godson like an incredible mother, working your ass off, taking care of your home, doing everything you had to do, being a boss ass bitch and having a good time.
Year, you completely like leveled up
Popped
in a
off.
whole different
Popped off.
way.
What?
Yeah,
Do what you want.
it was great.
My job business. Well,
It
watch
was great.
this.
I was
My
living
job is-
vicariously.
Yeah,
I was here for all the tea.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
love
I don't
that.
think it was definitely a ride.
Oh my gosh, it was so
Yeah.
much fun,
It was definitely
It was
a
fun.
ride. It was fun.
and I had to be there for something.
I
I was
read it-
outside with her. So I was
Oh
there for
yeah,
something.
absolutely. We had some moments.
I was gonna say something, but I'm gonna be quiet.
No, say it.
No,
Why?
that goddamn cowboy hat got on my motherfucking
Oh my-
nerves.
Yo, bro, brought him up. in
That
the
shit got on my
last
nerves.
episode.
I said, if this may be.
Who had on a cowboy hat?
Nobody had on a cowboy hat. Oh, somebody
I'm
did.
concerned.
No.
Why did he want to do that? Why did he try to do that? Why was he doing that? God bless him.
I'm quite concerned.
God bless him. You should be.
Yeah, we'll save this when we get off the
We
camera.
sure will.
Okay, because that's a story.
Yo, it's so funny because Brumman brought him back.
That's an interesting one. He was the most interesting out of all of them. He was the one that I was the least expected for you out of all of them. Don't.
No, I wasn't gonna say the name.
No, not the Christian National.
Sure. Sure.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
The Christian National is hilarious.
And the fact that I knew exactly who that was without knowing that that's how you even called him, that is amazing.
This is the first time I'm hearing her say that.
Me too, and I knew exactly what she was talking about when she said that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
She's talking about the same one you're talking about.
I know. That's why I'm
crying. I feel like that's the only one that was.
He was the only one that saw. I was like, this baby is not all the way here. Yeah. I don't know where this baby is, but he's not with me. And I'm sitting in front of him, so I don't know where he's at because I'm looking at the nigga.
He was with the Lord.
That baby, girl.
Wow. Oh, goodness.
Maybe he was in like purgatory. Maybe he was somewhere in between the earth and the Lord. I don't know where that baby was. God bless him.
He was a nice guy.
He was sweet as hell. He was so sweet, but he was a little
strange,
a little odd, a little peculiar, You gonna be cursing me out when you see this, like, bitch.
Oh, my cheeks.
Oh god!
Oh, wait, time out. The back of my head hurts too.
Oh yeah, from laughing.
Yeah,
it could be these sweet ass drinks.
No, it's from smiling.
Oh,
don't come at my drinks.
It's all we did was we made a really good raspberry simple syrup from scratch.
It's blackberry.
We just put blackberry. We just put too much of the simple syrup.
The fact that the simple syrup is natural.
So yeah, I definitely had a blast this year. I feel like I leaned on y'all a lot to like even just get through the simple talking stages of things, because I feel like my expectations were just coming out of like very serious situations and also being in situations where things move very, very quickly. My expectations were like very, very unrealistic for this time. And I don't know if they were unrealistic or if they just were different from what I was receiving, which it was not a bad thing. I just didn't know how to navigate it. So that's the part for dating that's been difficult for me, coming out of serious relationships and coming out of situations that move quickly, transitioning to situations where, whether it's a slow burn or whether it's like, people, we're 30 now. So people got a lot of shit going on. And dating when you're 30 and you're like going through life and career and stuff is very, very different from when, I was outside back in the day.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? Sure,
so that being said, like 5 years ago, it was a very, very different time. Well, actually 7 years ago, it was a very, very different time. And I did not see myself in this space. But we're here. What advice though would you guys have given me? This is post that first relationship, pre this last relationship, in that 6 months. Was it 6 months? That 6 month span. What relationship? Is there anything different that you would have told me? Like knowing what you know now about like my situation, the decisions that I've made. I don't know if it matters, but what advice would you have given me 7 years ago? Like, and what do you think I would have said to that?
Like right before entering your last relationship?
Yeah.
I think with me knowing that I know now, really always pay attention to what somebody shows you. It can save you so much time, and trust if in that moment like something just isn't aligned. You know what I mean? Like there's things, of course, you need to learn about people, but we always know those core values, those core things that we're like, this is a character flaw. This is something else. This is not something, this is just how this person is. And this is just, doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It means it doesn't really align with me. And I also think that's something I would have told myself in during that time.
It's something a lot of people ignore.
It's to be a lot of people stay in relationships or stay in certain things, and the same things that were very like a hard no from the beginning is typically what causes a relationship to ultimately end. You know, so I think I would have just told you to trust yourself, trust what doesn't work for you, and just believe that, you know, God has what does work for you. I think that's what I would have said.
I think I feel like I remember saying.
Oh, you told me already. You said it and I didn't listen.
Yep. My friends love not listening to me.
Well, we just said I listen.
That's their favorite song in that moment. Oh, in general, you listen. Yes. It was more of you listen more than Tiana.
Okay. I still have moments where I don't listen.
Yes, for sure. It was more.
Did I really just not listen ever? I just go to the beat of my own drum. That's really what it is.
I'm hearing I'm doing this.
I just
stand right next to me while I'm doing it. So I stood right next to her while she did it. And if she needed me, I was right there. Either I was riding out or I was standing still.
You have some friends that you just gotta
ride
let
out.
them live their life.
And when they need you, they go holler at you. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And it'd be worth it because the woman I am now, I mean, I was some bullshit then, and I probably should have listened. But the woman I am now, I love sis. I love me.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
very happy with
she's
where
great.
I'm at.
She is.
She's great.
Yeah.
She was always great, but she's great.
Yeah.
I remember saying, you know, take your time, make sure this is what you want, give yourself some space, you know, all those.
You talking about the baby,
things.
or you talking about the relationship?
The relationship, not my baby. The hell is wrong with you?
I love my baby.
He's perfect where he is,
I'm
and how
very
he is,
happy
and everything
he's
about
here.
him.
Very happy he's here. If there's anything out of that
that worked out
happy he's
perfectly
here.
was my baby. I mean, he didn't have to be a Virgo, God bless him, but everything else is great.
But we make it do.
We're gonna try.
Make it do.
Lord God bless him.
Beautiful child.
It's a struggle.
That's a struggle.
Beautiful child.
So stressed out. Being to be on the phone, he just be crying. He'd be like, "What's wrong?"
That's too much on my baby.
That's my papa. I love him. Shout out to my papa.
Not Virgo. Can't help it.
Virgos, God bless them. Y'all.
I don't even know what to do.
Yo.
Her soul, sister. I'm here. I'm a mother, so whatever. He's clean, he's happy, he's playing with them little toys. He's Spider-Man and shit. He's doing all right. So what can we do?
He about 10 different things. He's a dinosaur. He's Spider-Man.
I love that.
He's a Ninja Turtle.
I love that.
He got it all.
He have his Hulk costume?
He got a Hulk.
I dressed up as a kid, so I'm with him on the dress up. I love dress up. I love
Buzz Lightyear.
What? He got that too.
He got costumes for days.
He love a costume.
That's a cool kid, Joe.
That's so cool. I love costume. I love dressing up, so I'm not mad at him. Like God baby, like God mommy. What can we do? I definitely, you know, stand by like the things that I said. I would say, I lost my train of thought talking about my baby.
Give yourself time. You were saying.
I was saying to like give herself time and to kind of give herself time to like navigate like herself. And not these exact words verbatim, obviously that was some time ago, but very much the gist of just, you know, give yourself a little kind of breathing room and kind of just vibe out. What I would have said was, if it's worth having, it's worth taking more time for. Right?
But what does taking more time mean?
So when I say that in regards to a slow burn, I mean really getting to know the person for actually who they are and not just the beautiful things you know about them, right?
Let's talk about real quick. Let's talk about that real quick, because this is where I struggle. And this is how I've ended up in relationships rather quickly. Because it wasn't like super quick, but like rather quickly.
I mean, quick in context to from your last relationship is what I mean.
No, yes.
Like that's the time frame of it.
Oh, yes. What I mean. But still, because I think it's important to talk about this, because I feel like, you know, people who enjoy being in relationships and find themselves in those types of situations, whether it's a situationship or an actual committed relationship, what gets sticky is, you know, you want to take your time, you want to continue to get to know someone, but, you know, like if you're vibing with someone and y'all are exclusive, what is the difference? You know what I'm saying? Like between, like, what's the line between when you're getting to know someone and you're exclusive and you really are enjoying them and you want it to just be y'all,
Mm-hmm.
and then the relationship. You know what I'm saying?
I
Okay.
think that,
Do you understand my question?
Yeah,
I got
I
it.
definitely. You want to go ahead?
You can go first if you want.
Because I definitely feel like it depends on like your intent behind the relationship. I feel like in our 30s, a lot of us, I can speak for myself, I'm not looking to get into another relationship just to be boyfriend, girlfriend. I'm want a husband.
Right.
Why do I need to rush to forever? If you are my person, you are my. I have no intent of divorce ever in my mind or thought,
Right.
you know? And something that my mom and my stepdad and like that Gen X, our parents' generations, have been sharing with me is like, they didn't really do a lot of the you're my boyfriend. They didn't do that. They courted. Like they courted, they took their time, they got to know each other, and they just went into marriage. Like they just went into that.
They just
And
did the different
they
phases.
did the different phases of dating and all those things, and they just enjoyed it until it got to that point. And I think sometimes in our generation, we put a lot of onus on these like labels and these titles. And I'm not saying they're not important, but a lot of times we're rushing boyfriend, girlfriend, but then you don't even know like the deepest parts of someone, that solid foundation. Like, how do you communicate? We're getting all the kinks out after the title's there instead of laying that foundation on the front end, like a lot of our parents' generations or our grandparents' generations did, you know? So when I think of like a slow burn, I look at it as someone committing to that journey with you. And I think that's a lot more beautiful than someone committing to a title, because you can commit to a title and that person is just not showing up. They're not really ready for what they committed for with. You're realizing you're not really aligned with so many things. But someone really also investing their time and committing to that journey to take with you, trusting God in that, first of all, putting the onus on Him to guide y'all and align y'all wherever He wants y'all to go. It's so important. And I think our generation needs to stop leaving God out of these relationships.
Talk about it.
So before I start preaching.
I know that's right. You better keep going.
know?
I know that's right. So very similar to Tiana's sentiments. I think it's really important for people to understand that when you really like somebody, because like there's like that natural like chemical connection and that chemistry, and like you vibe out and like you guys are finish each other's sentences and you kind of have like the same like humor, all of that stuff are the positive, fun, exciting things about that individual. But the parts that make up a long-lasting relationship is seeing somebody at their ugliest and being able to love them through that.
Yeah.
And in the situations that I've been in, when I've been ugly in certain situations, I haven't always been loved when I've been ugly. And my husband is going to love me at my ugliest. I'm going to love him at his ugliest because we're devoted to each other under God. Period. End of story.
Right.
And I think when it comes to taking time, it's not just about taking the time, because you also don't want to waste time, right? There's that opposite side of it. Of course, it's totally fair. But I think that when you're deciding to want to spend time with someone and be exclusive, it's really important to see them navigate life, because that's going to show you who they are. You can, the whole perspective, not just that narrow snapshot. You can have fun, you can have sex, you can travel, you can laugh, you can joke, you can kiki. I want to see you when you broke and don't know what you're going to do.
I don't want to see you when you.
I do. I want to see. I want to see. Hold on. I want to see you when there's an emergency that you're not expecting.
We could do that.
That something happens,
and I
want to see, because finances are the main thing.
A man who's a good steward of his finances.
Yeah,
finances are the main thing where relationships go sour. So if I see how somebody behaves, I don't want to know. God forbid something happens and there's an emergency with my money or with your money or with our money 20 years down the line, and you acting a fool.
My thing
and
is,
you're let me finish.
Yes,
and you're depressed and you don't know what to do with yourself and you don't know how to be resourceful. I need to see who you are, and I'm just using it as an example.
No, I know.
It doesn't necessarily have to be not having money. I'm just saying I'm using that because it's something that happens often in relationships. I want to see somebody. I want to see them, but I want to know my person. And knowing someone doesn't mean, oh, they're funny, they're cool, they're kind, their dick is big, Gucci's, whatever. That's not really knowing someone. Knowing somebody is actually understanding them from the inside out, their soul. And I feel like you can't really do that with someone in very short spats of time. You have to kind of really be really intentional about navigating the spaces through somebody's actual person. Because you can, and people want to give their best and put their best foot forward when they're interested in somebody. So most of the time in the first year or two, we're getting best foot forward. We're not actually getting
But do you guys
the whole
believe
individual.
But I think that I don't want to be definitive and say that you can't, because there's some people who do. There's some
No, of
people
course,
who,
absolutely.
there's some people within 2 months, 3 months, they like, this is my person. They
That's
fall
what
in
I was
love. They
gonna
get married.
ask.
So I think it comes down to just really knowing that like everybody's journey is different.
Yeah.
Just because that happened quickly doesn't mean that they're not, all those things that we're trying to build, they're also still building those things now in their relationship, which also is just as hard. It's just
Yeah.
as rocky. It's just as uncomfortable. You know what I mean? They're just now doing it with the title, where
Yeah.
we're just now doing it with someone who is devoted and committed rather to building this with you, building
Yeah.
this building block with you, because they also want to know, like, look, that's why it's important to ask people, what do you want for yourself? Like, one thing that has helped me in dating and really being like true to like what I want is someone who's aligned with, they want that for themselves too.
Right.
I want a family. I want marriage. I want kids, and I'm 33 years
And
old.
I think a lot of times we're scared to ask those questions
In the beginning, yeah.
Yeah.
I know I've been afraid to ask
I used to be, not
those
anymore.
questions.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Just because I also, this is, I was coming into dating in a very, very different space. I feel like a lot of people my age are dating, with the intention of finding a relationship and all of those things. And yeah, I want those things long term. But I was also very intentional about like, I just want to chill right now. I just want to have fun.
Yeah.
It's been like a cycle for me to find somebody, vibe with them, and we locked in. I didn't really want to be locked in too crazy.
Yeah.
This year. And so I think that it was difficult for me to navigate that because I did end up finding good quality people and did want to also explore like exclusivity and like those types of things at the same time. So it was hard for me to have those conversations because I'm like, I know I don't need to be getting into a relationship right now, but I also don't want to miss out on an opportunity
For somebody great.
at the same time. How do I even have this conversation of like, what are you looking for? You know
But
what
I
I'm
think
saying?
I was answering the question as far as where you were at a time from before your last relationship.
No, yes, absolutely.
So I'm speaking more in the context of that, especially when I was speaking about timing.
Yeah.
Because of what I know now of your last relationship, I think that things would have turned out differently if you would have saw that person when they were navigating difficult spaces. And that's what
And
I'm
I think
more
I did.
honing in
I
on.
think I
Before the relationship started? That's what I'm talking about, before the relationship.
But I think that like to your point with the titles, like I think that there were plenty of opportunities for me to be like, you know what? And I think that this is across the board for most people. That first month, that second month, that third month, things have happened, but you're just overlooking it because, oh no, this is my man. Like we're gonna work through this. Oh, this is my girl. We're gonna work through this. You know what I'm saying? So there are plenty of opportunities, even if you establish a relationship. There are plenty of opportunities to take heed.
For sure.
And I think
I'm doing it in the situation that I'm in right now.
Yeah.
I'm not committing to. I want to know the person. I am not about to get on no podium, no stage, spending a whole bunch of money in front of all my friends and family, and devote myself to one individual under the name of God playing around.
Yeah.
I'm not finna do that. So whoever I devote myself to is going to be somebody who I know. Who I decided to really who I chose to be intentional about understanding.
Yeah.
Because understanding somebody is incredibly vital. Yeah. Because that creates the friendship when the lust and the romance fizzles out, when you're going through whatever you're going through 20 and 30 years down the line.
Understanding and respect.
And that, and also, like, I think that part, like, really learning to understand someone, what they need, how they function in society. I feel like that's another thing. A lot of people like to meet people and want to change them.
Oh yeah.
They want to
Oh, God, that's
conform them
ridiculous.
Or
into
think
something
that they're
else,
gonna
or think
change
they're
for
going to
them
change.
in any capacity for
Yeah.
whatever reason.
It's like if you truly are intentional about knowing someone, first you already see like, okay, I know this about this person, and is this going to work for me or just going for it?
Correct. That's
Ask
the right
yourself
question.
that
Is it going to
first.
work for me?
And then you really pay attention to like, okay, this is just how this person shows up in the world. This is how they
Right.
are designed. This is
Mhm.
what they need to
Mhm.
feel secure and safe and good and balanced and at peace. Like this is a part of who they are.
Yeah.
So a part of that is like, okay, there may be certain things that typically in the past may not have been the most comfortable, but it's like, okay, I know that this is who this person is.
Right.
Mhm.
And I understand this person. I understand why they show up in the world this way.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that's going back to the thing about time. Or flip, sometimes you could be like, whoa, hold on a second. But then
Right.
the more you understand somebody, it's like, okay, this is who my person is.
And I think that's what
you know?
titles, I think that like, and this is just me as I'm listening to you guys and like thinking about what we're speaking on, titles, like not having that title can kind of take the pressure off of
Absolutely.
1000%.
being able to
1000%.
walk away during those moments, because when you have the title, you feel that pressure of like, okay, I need to work through this. You
Mhm.
feel more obligated to stick around for things that you don't really have to.
Right.
But I think it's important to know that when you're boyfriend and girlfriend, you're still single to a degree.
Yeah.
And you still have the opportunity to keep it moving. If there are any red flags, should they present themselves, they should be taken just as lightly. I mean, just as, as
Seriously.
as seriously as if you guys were just dating without the title.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that that's kind of where we get it confused.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I know at least for us, and just like all the Black women that I know, like we ride for hours. Like we get into these situations and we pour our hearts and our souls and we give our all.
I stopped
And
doing that.
and you know what's so crazy?
What
I
happened?
don't do that no more.
You have me confused.
I have about
But I
three
do
friends
but
this
for
year.
a good man,
I have about 3 friends this
He
year
could lock me.
who have walked away from long-term relationships. And 2025 is different. Like on a lot of fronts.
On so many levels.
On so many levels. But I feel like and I do want to credit like social media for this. Like I feel like a lot of women are realizing their value and their worth. And the reason why I credit social media is because there's so much talk.
Yeah.
And, some of it is good talk. Some of it is bad talk. But I feel like a lot of women are seeing other women speak up and speak out, and, seeing platforms like this where we're talking about our experiences and how we've grown, and they're just realizing that like you don't have to put up with certain things. Like you just
No.
don't.
You just don't. I feel like kindness goes so far.
Absolutely.
And I think it's really that simple. I think a lot of times as women, we have found ourselves in situationships or relationship with people who are likely decent people, nice people, but not always kind people.
Usually not kind.
Kind, generous, not always
Yeah.
kind or generous people in that capacity.
Oh my God, get out of my head. I was saying kind and generous. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
like it really is a difference. And like when you actually experience a person who is that, and like they're just that's just
Actually
their
nice to you. You
character.
mean a man that actually likes you?
You.
Likes
Like there
women.
really is a difference. Like a man who actually likes you, who is also a kind person, like just a good-hearted person, it puts everything into perspective. A lot of times as women, like in the past, I know for myself, I've held on to the idea of I wanted love so much, and not because I just wanted it for myself. I wanted to give it.
Right.
Yeah,
Like
sure.
it was. I never wanted like just to receive. Like I'm a very well loved person. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But like I just had so much love to give, and it was very hard to give that and not feel it like received or not even really reciprocated, or like I was just too overwhelming for people.
Yeah.
And like a man or a woman, whatever your preference is, like a person who knows that they're worthy and deserving of love they know how to receive it, but they know
how to give
exactly
it.
how to give it.
Correct.
Like, so I think that a lot of times, a lot of women are like, we leaving these long-term relationships and realize like your man don't really like you.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
he
that
don't really-
unfortunately that's the case
It's
for a
not
lot of
just
situations.
a man not liking you. It's a person. I think it's also too like a lot of people, and Lisa brought this point up briefly earlier. A lot of people are in situations that they are not ready for.
Yeah.
I myself I was in a very long term relationship, and I was with someone who loved them down to this day, but they were not ready for the seriousness and the direction that we were going in, and they didn't even know it until it was too late. They were lying to themselves and me. So that's why I'm saying, back to what I was saying earlier, it's really important to get to know people in a certain capacity, so you can really, because once somebody gets comfortable enough to show you who they are, you'll really be able to if you're paying attention, and not just doing like what she said, not just loving for the sake of loving, but you actually really there to really get to know somebody for the sake of understanding them. You'll see what's up. It's right in front of your face.
Absolutely.
Right
You feel me? It's not.
That's what you have to do. You have to pay attention.
If you decide,
because we get so caught up in all the feels, like,
bro,
oh my God.
that's why
And a lot of
compartmentalizing. That's why compartmentalizing has helped me in certain aspects of my life when it comes to dating and even friendships, because you can be like,
and it's no judgment, because it's hard.
Being a human, bro, is so hard.
It's like, especially when you want love and like, you know, like y'all know my journey. You know, you want love, but then it's like sometimes you become obsessed with the idea of wanting love that you
or
are
that
willing
person
to absolutely overlook
all types of
that's
what
why
this
it's
person,
important too,
you know,
to take your time, like sexually.
Yeah.
Because that clouds, because those are all of the things that kind of cloud your vision and your judgment. It's really difficult to navigate.
Yeah, and setting boundaries.
Inappropriate, but I'm keep it to myself.
Setting boundaries too.
I don't care about none of that. You can make me scream and holler and hooter all you want.
Scream and holler, hooter.
You can go right to hell too. I will send you right to hell with the demons.
You're good with that. See, you're good with that.
Right to hell with them demons.
But again, compartmentalizing. You are really naturally good at compartmentalizing.
Because I can't even fathom allowing myself, because I gotta look at Michael Jackson said it the best. Like, I have to look at the person looking back at me every day.
But that's a self-awareness that some people, even if you are the most well-rounded person, sometimes that lack of self-awareness when it comes to being in love, that is when it goes out the window for people.
That's why I asked, and I was talking a lot last season about like me constantly asking for for advice from the people in my life. Mm-hmm. And really, like, it's really not that bad of a thing. Like, and I feel like that's how I've been able to navigate a lot of these situations, because I know that there are a lot of things that I don't see about myself. I know that there are a lot of things that I don't see about my situation, whatever that is in the moment. I have to ask, like, what do you think? Am I bugging? Like, that's my favorite thing to do. Call y'all and be like,
all do that, though.
Am I bugging?
We all do that.
Like, I literally just did that the other day. She clearly like, yo, am I tripping? Like, let me know. Like, am I doing too much? Am I crazy? Do I sound crazy?
Oh, I love that. That's my favorite. I'm crazy. It's me.
Yeah. It's like lean on your friend.
I think that the most important thing that I did, and I talked about this episode 1 this year, was date my friends and I spent so much time with my friends. Like, I spent a lot more time with y'all this year than I mean, we've always made time for each other. Yeah. But I feel like I just had more time to give, and I was a lot more intentional with the time that I spent with y'all.
For sure.
Like, we had so much fun this summer. Yeah. We had so much fun.
See, it was the opposite for me. I invested a lot of my time with my friends
over the years,
over like the last probably like 10 years. Like, let's hang out, let's do this, let's go here. Like, I was always the one trying to round the troops. So I really wanted to, like, my favorite word, fellowship. I always want to be around my friends, up under them, talking to them.
And we did that.
Hanging out. And we did, like, literally randomly one night, they know my other very close friends. And my other best friends called me and was like, yo, Let's link up. Somehow, some way, I ended up with like 6 people in my house. I'm tired. I'm gonna go to bed. They in my house though, till 7 in the morning. And we was just up and just talking and playing games and just
That's like old times.
Just yo.
Yeah, that was definitely giving them.
We used to spend
days
together.
literally days.
We buying toilet tissue. 555 on a Spanish food.
Yo. Not the
555 on a Spanish food. We ain't have much, but we made it stretch.
Don't do it, please.
We ain't have
taking
much.
me back. Oh my god, you're taking me back right now. That's so crazy. We literally would like, all right, you get the soda, I'm gonna get this. We all put like $10 in for a couple bottles, you know what I'm saying? But you would run down the Taki and Tasso, that's why I need an advance. Let me get $50.
Not the advance. Not the house account.
Listen.
Not the house account. Not my house account. I ain't got no money.
Absolutely.
But
still owe that get that some money.
Those were like just amazing times.
They paid for my trip to Thailand. I still owe them for that.
Okay.
Shit.
Oh wow.
Oh my god, not the whole thing.
I know, but yeah.
Yeah.
But that's great times.
Amazing.
And it kind of makes me think about like in this season, right? We're in our 30s, different parts of our 30s. We're like
beginning, middle, and end.
No. I was about to do that. I knew she was about to do that. I knew she was about to do that. We literally are in different parts of our 30s.
Don't post this.
It's
going to the archives, bitch. Don't post this part. It's going to the archives.
You don't look it though. Not at all.
I know. I sure don't.
But like in the 30s, like these are still very young.
They're very young, yeah.
Like I see people in their 40s who are just like, I'm still really young, and like they are.
Absolutely.
And,
you find your youth.
You definitely do.
You finds me for sure. I don't know where the fuck I get it from. My youth has found me. The youth won't let me the fuck go. Let me go. A bitch tag. You understand?
You want to hold on to your youth.
It's because your friends are youthful.
Hold on to your
Maybe
youth.
I'll just be like, why am I so spontaneous? Why am I out in these
We
streets?
love spontaneity.
We love that.
Is that spontaneity? Spontaneity.
We can unite it or it's idiot, unit, whatever it is.
We like spontaneous things.
Spontaneity.
But
Spontaneity. Sure.
Spontaneity.
Sure.
Y'all drunk. Is it the drinks?
I'm about to drink yours. You playing?
Yeah, because what's going on?
It's so sweet. You know, I'm a bit of a whiskey girl.
Whiskey girl.
But I guess that kind of segues into like where we're at now.
How do you think our friendship has changed through this journey? In what ways have we grown together?
Deep questions. We ain't never gonna get out of here.
Ever. I'm never gonna get to my bed. I'm never gonna help you on this couch. God, look. At our hearts, we're still the same girls, for sure.
Wait, before you say that,
yes,
I think that this is an important question to the context of like relationships and dating, especially in my situation, because I feel like people don't realize how much the person that you choose doesn't just affect you. Mm-hmm. It affects the people in your life, especially like if they're close to you. Mm-hmm. So anybody that I'm with, they gotta be with to a degree. My mama gotta be with to a degree. Same. My sister gotta be with. You know what I'm saying? My family has to be with to a degree. Yeah. So I think that if we're keeping it real, like
dating us too.
My relationship has also impacted our friendship and caused our friendships to go through certain things and grow through certain things in a certain kind of way. So
it sure did.
Let's talk about that.
I don't think your relationship necessarily impacted our friendship. Mm-hmm. I think that I'm one of those friends that, if it's up and I gotta be there, then I gotta be there, regardless of what the situation is. I think for me specifically, it didn't necessarily impacted. It just gave me more of a closer look into the parts of you that I don't necessarily always see because I'm not in a relationship with you, right? I don't think your relationship necessarily impacted our friendship. Like, I think I just kind of had like I think because your partner also felt comfortable with me to a certain degree at a certain point. Like I discussed certain things with them as well. Like you guys talked to me, so it very much I just kind of had like a more of a open understanding to points of views of my friend and her partner that most people don't necessarily get. That
It was too much.
That
it was too much.
That much of an intimate understanding.
Yeah.
I mean, in certain moments it felt a little overwhelming, but it just, for me, I felt like, okay, my friend loves me and needs me, so I'm here. And it seems like their partner cares for me too and needs it. And
I appreciate that.
I just wanted to like show up for the people that I cared about.
I appreciate
who
that.
I felt like needed it. And I had the bandwidth.
And I appreciated it at the moment too, but I did learn that it's not healthy.
Yeah, I understand.
It's still not healthy. My next relationship, we gonna go through it together, and that's it. And the important part is for you and your partner to have the mental space and the mental health to be able to get through those things by yourself.
Yeah.
To not have to, and it's okay to lean on, maybe we go to therapy.
No, it's okay to lean on friends.
And I think it's okay.
You can have conversations.
I think it's okay I think it's okay to lean on, there's ways to lean on friends who are understanding of the space that you're in, perhaps even in the same space yourself, to be speaking to give you a certain type of advice, because that's another thing. You can't go to every friend.
And maybe not in the heat of the moment. I think that's
right.
what it is.
And I also felt like I was happy that it was me, because I knew that I was going to keep whatever you guys told me safe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I definitely think it's okay, like, when you're navigating relationships or without giving all the detail or whatever the case may be, going to people that, one, are entrusted, that is rooting for you and your friend, relationship.
For sure.
People who are, in spaces you might even want to be yourself on how they're navigating certain things. And
I think there's a way. There's a way to do it
without overdoing it.
Yeah. There's a way to do it for sure, so that you're not oversharing and overwhelming that person. Because I definitely think like there are definitely moments of just like just because they heat of the moment, like way too overwhelming, way too invasive. Privacy is like so important.
It's very important to keep that privacy. And again, there's definitely boundaries that you share what you want to share, how much you want to share. But I think it also is very important to keep some things between you, that person, and God. How do y'all work? Most things. How are y'all going to work through this with God together? At the end of the day, that's the glue right there.
Absolutely.
I think in regards to like how your past relationships have impacted me, like our friendships, I feel like it was very different.
I know
Naja.
It was totally. I
feel like
so
they're
different.
definitely Naja was definitely like the one that really had that rapport with you both, or not even just one specific relationship or whatever. You've always been the one that everybody can go to. And I feel like I'm the one that you go to. So I've always only really had like,
because you've had boundaries too.
And I also have very strict boundaries. I have very strict boundaries when it comes to like my friend and their person. But I've always heard like one side of things. So like if I'm seeing my friend in pain or uncomfortable or upset, and this individual, it's coming from this space, like I'm always just going to be on that defense.
Of course.
And there comes times when like, okay, I don't know when I'm supposed to be on defense, when I'm not supposed to be on defense, when things are good, when things are not good. Like, should I say something? Should I not say something?
That's what most friends have to navigate.
And that's like very confusing when it's like, I only know one side of things that don't seem to be positive. What do you expect me to do? Or what do you want me to say? And I think I've always been very respectful of, like, I've never been like disrespectful or anything. But like, I've in our relationships, you have come to me at the parts that are like the most hurtful. Like even before your last relationship, like we lived together for 3 months. Like seeing you in those spaces be making me ready to fight. Like, what the fuck is going on? What's happening?
Where we going?
It's definitely, impacted, I think, more so in your last relationship. It kind of shed light on like just what boundaries look like. And also me being protective, but also understanding that people have to navigate their own journeys
and go through shit.
And I don't always got to say something about it. No matter how much I see, feel, know. Like it's just also being sensitive to like where somebody is in that moment and letting them navigate. And when they're ready to talk to me about it or come out of it or need me, then notify me. You know what I mean?
And I think that that's how we've kind of grown too. Like I feel like in our relationship, the three of us, this last couple years, communication is something that has developed and like
100.
Yeah.
And I think that not just the relationships that we've been in, because it's not just me, the situations and relationships you've
Yeah.
navigated, you as well,
Mhm.
how we've communicated with each other during this time based on the space that we were in our life in general. We've had to learn how to shift that. So what do you guys want to see for us this year?
It's prosperity, joy.
Joy.
I think that joy is not something that people think that I'm not going to say people think because I don't know what people think honestly, but a lot of times I feel like joy is this concept of like just happiness when happiness is such a fleeting emotion.
Mm-hmm.
But joy, just like peace, is like it's something that you got to fight for.
Oh, yes.
Sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's
Absolutely.
that thing like when you're fighting for your peace of mind, your mental health. Joy is the same thing where it's like no matter what is happening around us, like we really have to fight for our joy, and that's leaning into spaces that feel good, your friendships, your family, God, like loving partnerships, loving connections, like just places that feel safe, you know?
Do you see you guys settling down anytime soon?
Absolutely.
What about you?
I don't know.
Why not?
I'm not sure. I think that there's a couple things that I want to figure out with me first.
Still?
Still? What you mean still?
You know, I
I
read
feel like
something
you-
that says being ready is not a feeling, it's a decision.
Right. I feel
I
like
haven't decided
sometimes
yet.
people.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we sometimes we get in these spaces where we're like so focused on like doing the work and like at some like we're gonna always be doing the work. So at some point you
I
have
mean, I know
to.
that it's not about the work is constant and growth is constant and those things are going to be like constant and evolution is going to happen throughout life until we're no longer here. But I just think that when it comes to settling down, I know what that looks like for me, and I know where I want to be.
But is that only because you haven't found? You feel like you maybe not have found the person, or because you as an individual need to do more work?
I think it's both.
Okay.
I think it's both. I think that once I find my person, certain things might align better.
Okay.
But I also do feel like when it comes to relationships, I know how I want to show up. And I know that there's things that I still want to make, that I want to work on, because I just feel like it's great to want to settle down, but are you going to be the right partner?
Right.
Are you going to be what you're asking someone to be?
Yeah.
And that's what my goal is right now for myself. Because a lot of the things that I've worked through is, okay, I've worked through trauma, I've worked through issues, I've worked through problems, I've worked through my communication style. I feel healthy, I feel strong. I'm working with my relationship with God and being stronger as a child of God and as a servant of God, right? All these different things. But there's still things I want to just kind of grow into, and I feel like I'm doing that and I'm having a great time doing it, and I feel really good about my career path and what my future looks like. And when the Lord deems me ready for my man, I'm sure gonna be ready to snatch him up. But in the meantime, I think focusing internally on me and still continuing to navigate all those things are like really important. And it's just like there's certain like just things in a way I just want to I want to show up as a wife.
Yeah.
I'm not a wife. I'm not ready just yet.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's a couple of things that I want to kind of. I mean,
word.
Am I wifey material?
I mean, this is already common law.
No, yeah.
It's been 20 years, 15
Am I wifey
years.
material for sure? Am I domestic? Do I cook? Do I clean? Am I loving? Am I kind? Am I empathetic? Do I love God? Will I be a good mother? All those things are true. But I feel like for me, just the way I want to feel about myself, I think is really important, not just the way somebody else feels about me or the way I
Yeah.
feel about them. So that's more what I'm talking about. It's like how I feel about me. I just think that relationship with me and loving me and feeling
That's
the
the most
best I
important.
can feel is the most important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the space that I'm in right now. Who knows? I could already have my man, or my man could be coming. Who knows? And whenever he comes, I just want to make sure I'm ready for him.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
feel
putting my
like
best foot forward.
I feel like this last year I spent a lot of time like exploring and all of those things. I definitely want to keep doing that this year.
Yeah.
More intentionally.
For sure.
I want to spend a lot more time giving back. Tiana and I have been talking about and already kind of like putting the wheels in motion for like a lot more community service and stuff like that. I think it's so critical during this time, like to do something of substance outside of yourself.
Yeah.
There's just so much stuff going on. Like I want to feel fulfilled. Like I feel like it's easy to feel like you're just on like a hamster wheel,
yeah.
going to work, paying bills, hustling, taking care of your family, taking care of your children, situationships, everything just happening really fast, and we're not like present in the moment, and also doing things of substance and things that are like actually fulfilling.
For sure.
Yeah.
So I want to spend more time doing those types of things, like this podcast. I've been struggling with figuring out the direction. I've been struggling with even just having the motivation to continue to do it by myself, because like sometimes I'm like, what's the point? Like, why do nobody want to hear me talk about myself or hear me talk about my journey or hear me talk about my life?
Be surprised.
You'd be surprised. People love hearing other people talk about themselves.
That's all the internet is. That's all we do. It's all relatable.
But also too, you find your people. You find relatable. You find your tribe. Like everyone's not going to relate, but a lot of people will relate.
Yeah. So I've been trying to hold on to that and just really just keep doing. I want to continue what I started.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So with that, and it's something extra to do. Like we need hobbies. We need things to keep our creative juices flowing. Yeah. So that's what I want to spend the year doing. This event is coming up next week. That's gonna be bomb. I'm hoping to do more things like that. And yeah, continue to like spend more time with the people closest to me, you guys, and my baby, and yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I think 2025 is gonna be a good year.
I'm really excited about 2025.
So, because
I know it's not looking that great, but if we remove the politics, and all of the other things,
so
at
many
home,
great things. Yeah.
It like 2025 feels good outside. Like if we turn our phones off,
right?
And we sit with
so blessed. We're so blessed.
Sit with what's actually happening in our lives directly, even though that's not all that matters. But like if we sit in that, 2025 feels good.
Yeah. So many sacrifices I made in 2024 are making 2025 already a really good year for me. I worked really, really hard and trying to like discipline myself in a way that I never have before. And I'm really proud of myself for staying consistent in the discipline and boundaries and kind of keeping this theme of balance that I've had for a long time in my life and adding discipline to it and kind of like pushing myself a little bit further when it comes to my career. I just have like a trajectory for myself that I'm seeing. Mm-hmm. And I'm really, really like, oh, wow, I'm really focusing on me and what that looks like. Mm-hmm. So I feel like partnership is amazing. And that's something that I want. But I'm really, really looking forward to the things that I'm going to be able to like contribute to myself, like on my own.
I love
you know
that.
What I'm saying?
I love that.
I think that's a great. That is the most important journey to love is self.
So excited for it.
Yeah, I feel like I've spent the last several years on that journey of like self-love, and I think I'm at the point where like I'm really happy with who I am. Mm-hmm. I'm happy with like all of it. Like the things I'm still working on, the things that I have worked on, the consistency, the discipline that I've developed. Like I just feel really good about where I am. And I now like 100% feel very ready for like that next chapter. Like I was just telling someone like, I'm in a space where I just want to serve someone other than myself. Like even if it's just cooking a dinner, like I want to not cook it just for me. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just in that space now. And it's because I've lived alone for 9 years. I've spent a lot of time with myself in many different phases. And I'm just really
You're ready. Yeah.
Like, I'm just ready.
I love
Like,
that.
I don't even have, like, and it's just a matter of like, okay, with God's plan, like the win is really on him, but I'm ready.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But I feel good. I'm very excited about all the other great things going on outside of what's happening in the world.
God,
like, again, Elisa and I just, getting active in our community and us collaborating and doing different events, bringing more networks together and networking, expanding our network.
Just over the last month.
Just been
my network crazy.
Yeah, mutual networks.
Yeah.
Like,
I love that.
It's been really cool. I'm always reaching for new heights in my career, so that's been great. There's just a lot of other great things to look forward to, and
absolutely.
I'm trying to stay present in that. It's very hard with all that's happening. I'm trying to like really manage my time and relationship with the internet. Like, you just have to even remind yourself that you also are still living,
right,
and you still have a life to live. And it could just feel very doom and gloom when you're constantly consuming all of this like negativity. So
much information to retain,
it's
especially
too much.
when it's not positive.
So I think for this year, I'm just trusting God with his protection, with his blessings, with his prosperity. He knows what I want, he knows what I'm ready for, and I'm just ready to receive.
Yeah, I love that. And on that note, because what time is it?
Time to go to sleep.
Go to bed. I'm tired.
Good morning and good night.
Good morning and good night.
Good night.
Happy
good morning.
Black History Month.
Yes.
Blackity black. I know that's right.
Blackity black. This about to be the blackest. If they thought we was obnoxious
before. I'm about to give me a white folding chair and just walk around with it. You feel me? Okay.
This is about to be the blackest.
True.
Black History. DEI.
I'm about to play Luther Vandross on blast in the streets every day.
This world was mine.
Mm-hmm.